guys, welcome to My So Bliss. Today I'm going to show you how to make a nursing cover that can also be used as a car seat cover, an infinity scarf, and a shopping cart cover. Now I did make this video a couple years ago, but I wanted to make an updated one and answer a few questions. So the supplies that you're going to need are first your fabric, and I'm going to be using this poly spandex blend that I got from a cute little fabric shop. I'll put the link down for it below. It's super soft and really nice. It's going to be an awesome nursing cover, so I'm really excited about that. And then you're just going to need all of your basic sewing supplies. So let's get started. For this project, you're only going to need 3/4 of a yard of fabric. And the fabric that I'm using is actually extra wide. So mine's about 60 inches wide. If you don't have one that's quite as wide, that's gonna be okay. I just like it a little wider so that it fits over my head well. I can peek down at the baby. It's gonna fit around my waist and the baby really well. So if you can, try and find a wider fabric. So for our first step, we're just gonna take the selvage edges and open our fabric up and turn it wrong sides out. And we're just matching up those selvage edges again, matching up the raw edges. So here's my piece, wrong sides out. Here's my selvage edges. And I'm just going to line those up and pin those together. Now, once you have this edge pinned together, one thing that I really like to do with my nursing covers is kind of come in a little gradually so that it sits on my shoulders really nicely and isn't constantly falling off. I feel like when I round it, it's suited better to sit on my shoulder, whereas with this corner, I think it could fall off a lot easier. You don't have to do this part, you could just do a straight stitch, but I do suggest rounding it a little bit. So when I go to stitch, I'm gonna stitch up the side, and I'm going to be cutting off the selvage edge right here because I'm going to be using my serger. If you're not using a serger, just stitch in from the selvage and you can cut it off later with a pair of scissors. And if you're using a sewing machine, make sure you're using either a zigzag stitch or a stretch stitch. That way the stitches will stretch when you stretch the fabric. So I'm just going to be stitching right along here, and then about 1/2 to 3/4 of a way up, I'm going to gradually start coming in about 5 inches. So I'm going to be taking my marking tool, and before I go over to my serger, I'm going to gradually mark where I want to sew. So I just want to go in about 5, maybe 6 inches, depending on how broad your shoulders are. So not too bad. And this is my little marking tool, chalk tool. So I'm just going to gradually have it come down and meet at my side. So this is all about preference here. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Once I have that curved and marked, I'm then ready to go over and sew or serge it down. So again, like I said before, I'm just going to start at the bottom, and as I come up, I'll follow that chalk mark that I just made and just end at the top. One thing I found when I was wearing this out and about is that I wanted this side to have the same slope. So one other thing that you guys can do is I just folded it in half. I'm going to mark it again with my marking tool just on the other side. So I have it folded in half, and I'm just going to mark the same slope that I marked on the other side, and then I can just go over to my serger and I'm going to serge along the line just like that. And I don't have to serge down the edge because this is the folded edge, so it's already nice and clean, but I'll just serge that so that it sits on my shoulder a little bit better. Once you are all done sewing that edge, you can turn your cover right sides out. And you are all done with your nursing cover. Now, because we used a knit fabric, the edges aren't going to fray at all, so we actually don't even have to finish off the edges, like the top and the bottom. If you want to, feel free. You could do a double needle stitch or something like that, but I'm just going to leave them as is. If you want to use your cover as a infinity scarf, then you just take it, and I usually like to take the seam and hold that part right there so that I can put that behind my head. And then I do a twist on it. So I take it and twist it once, and then put it over. And then I can kind of adjust however I want it. And it's all ready to go.
If you want to use it as a shopping cart cover, you just take your edges and with the baby already in the shopping cart, you put it over the baby and then put it over the seat, over the handlebars, and pull it up and tuck it around the baby. Make sure their arms can still come out and you just tuck it down around them so they aren't touching anything that could have germs on it. Another option is to use it as a nursing cover, and here I've just put it over me and baby. And then lastly, you could use it as a car seat cover just by pulling the cover over the car seat.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe. If you want to see more tips, tricks, and pictures, make sure to check out my Instagram at mysobliss, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!